For the whole 2 weeks that I've been using the word magnanimous, I've been using it wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The really
fun,
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 it's a
really fun wow show,
the
really fun wow show. Oh, how fun!
Hello, and welcome to the Really Fun Wow Show. This is super weird. I normally record these episodes with video, and I'm not doing that right now. And I feel really alone suddenly. And I know that seems ridiculous because I'm a dude doing a podcast alone, but I'm realizing how significant the presence of myself being recorded and seeing a little video frame of me in it provided company. Like I was talking to somebody and now I'm just staring at a closet door and my life has gotten that much more lonely. No, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. How are you? That last episode I did where I talked about loneliness and the desire for friends was the most highly interacted with episode, I suppose, is a weird way to put it. People reached out to me and shared their thoughts, which I really appreciate. Shared their experience, shared some unsolicited advice. Here's how you make friends. No, it was beautiful. The stories I heard and the level of relating and empathy in that meant a lot. So thank you for those of you who reached out. And here I am, and I bless you. I often wonder, I don't know if I haven't mentioned this, but there's a really, really sweet young lady that works next door, and the walls are very, very thin, and I do a lot of weird shit in this place, or maybe not weird. I don't know. It's weird. I'm performative and doing my silly reels and videos and things, and 99.999% of the time I'm talking to myself or to a camera. So if there was any sort of sense of the amount of vocal presence that comes out from this room is a guy by himself. I often wonder if she has any thoughts about me or considers me at all, because Lord knows I think about her. So here I am at the Wow House. It is 10 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday. I'm preparing to open my space for a pop-up, a one-day pop-up. This is weird. It feels like I'm like plugging my business, which isn't something I ever talk about on this show, but I guess it's relevant in regards to last week's topic of a desire for company and for interaction and that. And so I'm opening the space, and I did this a couple of years ago, and it was very successful. Every time I opened the store, it was kind of a store with fairly alternative business hours. They were not regular by any means. And anytime I opened it, people came and people shopped and people talked and people said like the nicest shit to me. I wish I had some level of like record of this that I could reference anytime I'm feeling less than joyful or whatever I would need to kind of boast myself in a way. But goddamn, if I could dole out a fraction of what people said to me and the nice things and the reflections and the compliments and the like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And I use that in the most positive regard. It's so insane. It's amazing. Yeah. So I'm doing that again. Maybe because I'm lonely, and maybe because I like making money. Maybe it's both of those things. I don't know. I mean, I have this space. I've had this space for going on 5 years, and I've always desired it to have some level of communal application, but it's not really ever happened, only except for the retail, which is just me, being like, come here and buy stuff, or not, come and say hi. But it's around it's around the kind of the centered capitalistic nature of it, but I want to have it as a space to do what? I don't know. That's why I guess I haven't done it. Like I thought about doing movies here, ran into a technical difficulty issue and it kind of sidetracked me. And then having gone to Al-Anon and ACA, I love the structure of that and thought, oh, well, I would love to do a version of this for whatever, just for general communal gathering. I really like see the value in just people gathering and sharing their stories. And so I've considered that, and obviously I haven't done it. I mean, there's still this like weird, like I get these ideas and they kind of like happen, and then there's this big, huge hurdle that I can see, or this big like speed bump I can see. It's like, okay, you gotta go really fast with your momentum and get over that speed bump, because then when you get to the other side, because the other side is actually these things coming to fruition and being really welcomed and valued, and again, having evidence, at least just through the retail shop, of like people wanting to gather and say hello, and that I get like high from it. I get energized. I get filled. I really do benefit from that. And I think it's an interesting place to know that is readily available. But I guess the energy and effort that I have to put in on the front side, like I don't want to have to be like, to get interaction with people, to be like, I'm putting on an event. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's how things happen. Like people desire something and they do it. I think I just also want I just want to be invited. Somebody just invite me to something. No, I did get invited to a birthday party recently, and I went. And I feel like this is like a page out of my diary. So guys, I got invited to a party, and it was amazing. And it is, again, just evidence of like, shit, dude, this is good for you. Like your therapist said, this is healthy to go and interact and have conversations. And when I stayed out way later than I thought of, I didn't even really consider the time. And then I looked and I was like, oh shit, it's like coming up to 11. And I went home and I just like, I could barely sleep. I was jacked. I was jacked. Think of a better word, and I didn't think of it. I was jacked. So, yeah, it's nice to be reminded of like, yeah, you do really like this kind of stuff. And so, that's the plan, to have the pop-up. And then I'm also having a birthday party, which, here it is. Here's your invitation to my birthday party. On May 3rd, Wednesday, 2023, the year of our Lord, will be my 40th year on this planet. Which means that 1983 was 40 years ago. Let that sink in. Fuck. Yeah. So, I'm having a party on the 3rd for my birthday, and I'm doing an open invite. I mean, I don't necessarily think that that's like going to be this unmanageable flood of people. I'm not that well liked. I mean, I think I'm held in some level of regard in some people's lives, but I don't imagine people hopping on flights and there being this deluge of people flooding this tiny little bar in town. So I feel very comfortable and confident to open invite. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like it's a rare thing, for me to celebrate my birthday, because I have kind of thoughts around that are kind of definitely centered around feelings of I'm not important enough, or like feelings of like this level of self-grandiosity around it that I get embarrassed about, that I feel like, how dare you whatever. It doesn't feel like I don't deserve it, but it's like, how do you, where do you get off being like, come celebrate me? And my therapist reframed it. He said, when maybe it's less about like, hey, come celebrate me and my birthday, and instead like, hey, I'm having a birthday and I want to celebrate it with you. Like turning the desire on my end to desire other people. And I was like, God damn it, dude. That was like such an easy, like, duh reframe that was right there. And I guess that's, why you pay a therapist, because he saw something that I had been framing one way for most of my life and just flipped it around. So it's like, yeah, like, come, I want to celebrate with you. Like, come out. I want to meet people who I've never met before. I want to see people that I do really love and never get to see. And so that desire feels more genuine than come celebrate me. So yeah, that's on the 3rd here in Ojai at a place called Ojai Rancho Inn. If you're around 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, yeah, come say hi. Come tell me if you do come. Fucking incredible. But tell me that you listen to the show, because I know there's listeners because I check the stats every now and then, but I guess what I'm desiring around what I do, what I bring to in the world is more acknowledgement. It's true. I mean, it's hard because as an artist, you're putting things out, as I try to do mostly, is like I could literally like record this episode and then just hit stop and put this memory card into a drawer and never upload it and feel good about it. Feel like, yeah, cool. I represented myself. I spoke honestly. I worked through some things on air. But obviously there's another big part of it that is the completion, is the reciprocation around, hey, look at this thing I showed, created, and the person has a reaction. And clearly I shouldn't need that, but there's definitely a desire as an artist. You're like, hey man, I want to know that this resonates. I want to know that I'm not, I don't know, it doesn't say waste my time, but that it's being received. And clearly there's avenues for that. There's the reviews on iTunes, which is, fucking crazy that we kind of have that. And then for better or for worse, I've had, on a previous show I did, some pretty scathing reviews, and also the reviews manifest in numbers of stars, and I get a lot of 1-star ratings for the show. So people are expressing their displeasure. But yeah, I don't know. And so anyway, a bigger part of this in this desire that I'm feeling around, like, man, I feel like there's a part of what I'm doing that I want more attention, or I want more accolade. And that's obviously just a much bigger thing. But then what I kind of framed it recently, and I came to kind of this blunt conclusion of nobody cares about you. And I say it in a way that's like meant to kind of make me feel okay with the fact that I don't get the attention that I want, where it's like, take it as like, nobody cares about you. So are you going to keep doing what you're doing? Or are you going to stop making art because nobody cares about you? And I'd be like, no, I enjoy making art. And I'm like, okay, we'll keep making it because nobody cares about you. But also the kind of the more nuanced thing that doesn't quite get encapsulated in the nobody cares about you is that people have so much shit going on in their lives. And like, I don't. Like, I live this very simple, like, quiet, like I just dropped my kid off at spring camp and I came here to the studio. And I'm just kind of like putting around. I'm like moving items around in here and being like, it's like fucking whatever, 2 weeks till this pop up. So I have like plenty of time and pretty much everything's done, but I'm just kind of like moving things around and like make a cup of tea and then like flick through Instagram and like refresh about like something I just posted. I just launched some kids clothing. So funny. I'm plugging my business so much in this. Use the code. What is the code again? I think it's RFW show 30, maybe. I guess I said like, whatever, like 10 episodes back, here's a coupon code. And then I just forgot to create the coupon code and somebody messaged me and said, hey, how about that coupon code? And I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot I said that. So, yeah, so I'm doing things like I'm putting out content. I'm creating, I'm sharing with this platform. Like, so like, it's my job. Like I do feel like my office is Instagram. I show up and I present my report for the day and my here's what I created. And like I deliver to this platform so wholeheartedly. And then when I don't receive the requisite amount of attention that I should, I'm like, well, what am I fucking doing here at this job? Like I feel some level of insecurity around it. And I have to think like, okay, you're not the only employee at this company. People spend a fraction of a second passing through something. And also like, I'm participating more and more in reels. And, those require people to stop and watch and engage. And these are all things that I'm recognizing, like why I need to shut the fuck up and recognize that nobody cares about me. These are factors like, the idea that I put out something and that it should get the deserved attention is ridiculous. So like people are watching it while they're taking a shit, or they're in the middle of something and they're like, oh, that's a reel. I can't listen to a reel. Just like all of the factors that would lead me to feel a lot better about why I'm not getting, quote unquote, the deserved amount of attention for something. And so, yeah, it's been pretty present a lot lately because, I am no longer in a relationship, and that was a presence in my life that for as brief as it was beautiful. And I'm so grateful for the time spent in that and what it showed me and what it taught me about myself and what I got to learn about the other person. And it was just amazing. It was really substantial. But that was like, oh fuck, like people have this in their life. And again, it's like kind of back to the episode before of like having a partner. You're maybe not so desperate for likes and comments when you can come home and there's somebody who likes you and comments about you. So I definitely very clearly see where my desire for this level of recognition comes from a lack in other aspects of my life. So that's just, I'm figuring it out. I'm learning about like how much that really does matter to me. And also, it's interesting to like really at the end of the day, like what is important. And I say that personally, the two, I don't know, like, I mean, it used to be like money was really, really important to me, and then money represented security. And so I guess it wasn't even the money. It was like the representation or what money representates, which is security and safety and all these things that are pretty like unquantifiable or intangible in regards to like, how do you like quantify safety? Well, money is one for me. It's just like, oh, okay, well that just provides safety. And money has come and gone in sweeping fashions over the past couple of years. And money is something that comes in at not a predictable rate, but a consistent rate, especially in regards to what I do for a living, which is what I just explained to you, make stupid reels and this podcast and kids clothes and buttons and t-shirts and art prints and all these things that are things that I put out that are forms of my expression, that are mediums of something that I thought of and brought into form and sell to people. And so that being like, it's also intrinsically tied. Like that's the way I make my money, but it's also my expression. So I not only want your money, but I want your love. God. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I want to know that the thing you bought from me brought you joy. I'm saying this kind of like with question marks because I'm not sure exactly that's what I want, but it would be really nice. Yeah. Or a dog, or I just want a dog. There was this dog that I stumbled upon like it was an accident. I was very, very intentionally on the SPCA's website. His name was Joey. And they found him in a Carl's Jr. parking lot, and they were like seeking his owner, but they said if he stays any longer, he's up for grabs. And I almost am afraid to go back and look and see that he's not there anymore. But he stole my heart. I just was playing out scenarios in my head of me and Joey. And when he acts up and I got to talk to him sternly, Joseph. Oh man. And yeah, this whole like internet thing, that I am just like wholly consumed by. I mean, again, like it feels like it's my job, or I make it my job, and it's something that I'm engaged with constantly throughout the day. And the only time I'm not is like if I'm out for a run, or that's about it, really. And so I'm too hooked on it right now. Like I'm too connected to it. And I recognize that. And I guess what I was saying earlier was that the thing that brings me safety and security is money, and that's coming in at a rate that is like consistent enough to count on it. Obviously anything can change. Suddenly people don't wear t-shirts anymore. T-shirts are out of fashion. We don't wear shirts anymore. We're going shirtless. That could be a thing. Or just, there's some, I don't often consider it, but it sneaks into my head every now and then, where if there was any sort of, God forbid, catastrophe, I'll tell you what, people ain't buying art. That's for sure. I need to get into the bullet business or something. Although I will say, I'll completely take back what I just said a moment ago. During COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, the coronavirus, the plandemic, my business was performing better than it ever had before, and I think ever has since. So I guess it depends on the severity of the catastrophe. Clearly, COVID was engineered and fake, and so it wasn't it didn't have the gravity of something like a an earthquake or a wildfire, which is real, not a fucking plandemic. No, I'm kidding. What do you guys think about that? What is the general consensus at this point? There's probably no general consensus. I think that there's variations of certain attitudes. I would say, where do I stand with it? I don't really ever think about it, to be honest with you. I mean, my kid still gets tested at school. And that feels like, well, shit, somebody's still making money. Why not just keep testing? That feels like part of it. It's like hard for me to get to a place where it's like, we're doing this for the public good, for safety. It very much feels like there's still money to be made. I remember, I can't believe I'm fucking talking about COVID right now. What the fuck is this episode? It wasn't too early on. I mean, it was like towards the point where we were like kind of working out testing to a more effective degree. But I started seeing, and I just saw one the other day at the place that it's been popping up for fucking years now. But like a van that was like vinyl wrapped with like 30-minute COVID tests, rapid COVID test, where people would need that to go to work or to get on a plane or whatever. You had to prove your COVID-lessness. And I remember seeing these things like early on, and they had branding, and there was like a logo for it, and like I was like, oh damn, this is like institutions and businesses are cropping up around this, that there is money to be made in this thing. And the fact that I don't know, once I saw it, like having like somebody had to pay a graphic designer to be like, all right, we wanted to say like 30-minute rapid test, and like maybe we have like a needle with C for COVID, and like straight up, like this became a thing that then, kind of moved these other wheels of capitalism, got those turning and created new wheels. And yeah, it was really, really fascinating to see it from as many angles as possible, but from that kind of, the leading where the money leads to. And so I don't know. I mean, it feels like, and like I said, I saw that van the other day parked in the same spot. It parks out in front of this park parking lot. It parks out in front of this parking lot. And the nurse, she was just like sitting in the driver's seat with her feet up on the dashboard on her phone. I don't even think she like opened the doors. Like it's just like there's no one's coming to get that anymore. I don't think, as far as I know, I could very much not know what's going on in mainstream life. But are we still needing to prove our COVID-lessness as much as we used to? And if you're going somewhere that needs you to prove that you're COVID-lessness, follow the money. No, I mean, somebody's pocket is getting a little bit fatter with this still. It doesn't seem as booming of a business as it once was. I can't believe I'm talking about COVID right now. But seriously, I mean, it was like a thing, wasn't it? Kind of was a thing for a while. I mean, I was running my store here when we were still, I don't even know when that was. I guess that's like kind of, I don't know, when did COVID officially end, or it didn't, I guess. But so was that October, I think 2 years ago, 2021. yeah, people were wearing masks. Like people would come in, and I'd put a very kind of lazily pull a bandana up over my face, and I don't know. I was pretty apathetic about the whole thing. I felt like not too long into it, really fucking sick of it, and I know that could come across really insensitive because people did lose their lives and lost loved ones and all that sort of stuff. But I think from a general sense, I just was like tired of it, and it felt shitty that there was not this feeling of maybe what other countries might have experienced, where it was managed and it felt like things were going to be okay and that you'd be taken care of. Like there was just a lot of, it was clearly a divisive subject and turned just shit really weird for a while, and the uncertainty and the kind of just the like half-hearted, half-assed like nature of preparation around it and the things that we were doing. Yeah, it's weird now to see kind of relics of it, where you'll see like the 6-foot dots on the floors at stores where it's kind of, like faded away. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I digress. I can bring this back. Why the fuck did I start talking about COVID? Catastrophe. Oh, business, art going out. The first thing, if there's anything bad that ever happens in the world, the intrinsic nature of my business being tied to artwork. Therefore, my level of self-value and self-worth being tied to the way that I make my money. Boom, we're back. And that's all the time we have for today. Yeah, that's really like, that's it. So I'm at this place where art and commerce meet, and my art is how I make my living, and my art is also how I express my soul. And the fact that those are tied together, and you saying like, you're not buying my art, that means you don't love me, is really fucked up. And not super healthy. And I don't do myself any favors by obsessively checking social media and being like, validation, please, validation, please, validation, please. When in fact, like I said, the business is running smoothly, and for all intents and purposes, that should feel good. But it doesn't, because it's not, because money isn't the thing that makes you happy. And it's like, oh shit, well, you found that out in a really fun way, didn't you? It's not the money, it's the love. It's the love, God damn it. So, man, I've been trying to get back into this microdosing regimen, and it's going pretty fucking well. And it's funny when you get to a point where you're like, I don't know if that could really be qualified as a microdose anymore, because it's supposed to be subperceptual, but some days it's not. And I'm feeling this weird kind of weirdness in my throat right now, and in my just essence as a human being, that leads me to believe I'm on mushrooms. So I'm gonna end it there. And for anyone who's in the area, excuse me, April 30th here at the Wow House, which you can put into Google Maps, the Wow House, Ojai, and find it. And then May 3rd. So if you if you do want to fly out and make a week of it, you can really jam in some time that's very me-centric, which would be, don't do that, please. Don't put that kind of pressure on me to have to be of level of appeal that would make you take that much time out of your life. Please don't do that. But yeah, if you want to come on out, say hi, tell me you listen to the show. Oh, I want to give a big shout out and a hello to Rufo. Rufo is this amazing dog that I met at that party the other night. And I think we had a connection. I don't know. I mean, do you think we had a connection? Hi, Rufo. Hi, Rufo. Rufo likes when you talk to him like that. Would love to see you again, Rufo, if the opportunity arises. Oh, come out to the party on May 3rd, please. Anybody with a dog, please bring your dog and let me pet your dog. That would mean a lot to me. I love you.
That was the really fun wow show. All right, we're done. Oh, yep. Okay, bye.